Thank JJ for standing in this morning, presiding over the service, and he does an excellent job each and every time he does it. So again, we continue to encourage our youth in everything that they do here at the church. I couldn't help but look out, and I think this is probably a little bit of Brother Fowler's that's seeped in here, but we had a service here yesterday, and we had a packed house here yesterday. And it wasn't a packed house full of visitors. It was a packed house full of those who've been baptized at one point in time here, who has a family that's rooted and grounded here, but have gone astray. I'm talking about my family. Has gone astray. And this is where they should be today and each and every Lord's day. So it lets us know that in love we have work to do to let them know this is where they need to be. This is where they should be. This is where they must be each and every Lord's day. It's not about being seen like we talked about last week. It's not about being heard like we talked about last week. But it's to give God all the honor and the praise that he is due. His day. As I was thinking about this week, a couple things came to mind for me. It was really two words: wants versus needs. And I think sometimes we get a little confused from time to time with what a want is and with what a true need is. When we talk about want, we talk about something that we desire. When we talk about want, we talk about something that we wish for. When we talk about want, we talk about something we would like to have. And on some occasions, when we talk about want, we are talking about a need, but in most cases, we're talking about something extra, something that's not a necessity, something that's not key to us living from day to day. I want a new car. Well, the car you got is running just fine and getting you where you need to go. You want a new car, but you don't need a new car. I want this type of car. Well, you need a car. You don't have to have that type of car. Wants versus needs. But when we talk about needs, those are the things that are necessary for life. Requirements, must-haves. Even on projects, when we talk about delivering something, you have wants and you have needs. You have a wish list that someone has. These are things that I would like to have, but they're not necessary. But then you have things that are necessary and required for that thing to be completed. Those are the needs. In life, we have needs. We need to take our medication from time to time. If we don't, then we're going to suffer the consequences if we don't take our medication. From time to time, we may have a need to go to the emergency room, even though we don't want to. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Needs versus wants. And we have to make sure we truly understand the difference between wants and the difference between needs. And when it comes to Christ, when it comes to us from a spiritual standpoint, we understand, like the scripture said, God supplies all of our needs. We talked about this a little bit this morning about Job. Job lost everything. He had it all and he lost it all. He was sick, lost his health, lost his friends, lost his family, lost everything that he had. But everyone focuses on that end when he says that his latter was greater than his first when he was restored and everything was given back to him and was greater than what he had in the beginning. But what we failed to focus on is in between that timeline. His needs were still provided. Even though he lost family, even though he lost friends, even though he lost his health, his needs were still provided. God still sustained him, still maintained him while he was here on this earth. He woke up each and every day. He was able to move about each and every day. He didn't have necessarily the wants, but he had everything he needed. Sometimes we got to recognize in life, when we're in the midst of a storm, we have everything that we need. When we're in the midst of one of those trials and tribulations, the things that aren't going right in our life, we have to recognize that God has still provided for our needs, and the fact that he woke us up on that morning. The fact that he still allowed us to move from place to place or do what we needed to do, recognize that he still provides for our needs. I was thinking about the 16th chapter of the book of Exodus. In the 16th chapter of the book of Exodus, and we've been talking about the Israelites for quite some time, but wants versus needs. And here they are in the 16th chapter of the book of Exodus. Early on in the chapter, in that second verse, they start to murmur against Moses and Aaron. To murmur against God. You done brought us out of the land of Egypt. We at least had something to eat back there. Maybe we didn't have the best conditions, but we at least had something to put in our belly when we were back there. You done brought us out here to die of starvation.
Lord, have mercy.
And the Lord said, well, I'm going to take care of them. We're going to see how faithful they truly are in a sense. He said, in the morning, I'm going to provide manna for you. In the morning, I'm going to provide it for you. You're going to go out and you will take a certain amount each and every morning, each and every day. And on that sixth day, you will take double. But you will only take what is required each and every day. And in the night, I will send the quails, provided for their needs. And he did just that. And they tried to take advantage of the situation. Say, I know I was only supposed to take a little bit, but I want to make sure I have something just in case it don't come back the next day. So they tried to store it up, and when they went to use it, it was no good. Follow what God has given you and use what God has given you the way it is intended to be used. He provides for our needs. And I think about that, and I was thinking about that hunger thing. And I couldn't help but think about when I was going through the scripture and thinking about when I was in school, in college. And when we've been in college, those that have been in college, you didn't have those days. And I remember when I first went to college, I didn't understand how the system worked. I know we paid, it seemed like a lot of money back then, and it really ain't a lot of money now when you talk about school. $18,000 for school. I thought room and board meant that food was included. So I remember I had my card those first couple of weeks. I went down to the food court and I was swiping my card, getting burgers, pizza, and everything else. 2.5 weeks in, I went to swipe my card and said, ain't nothing on it. I said, what do you mean? I didn't understand that I only had certain credits on that card. Now, we only about 2.5 weeks into that semester, and I got about 12 more weeks to go and figure out what I was going to eat. Well, I found some ramen noodles and heated up some ramen noodles. And ate those ramen noodles, and that was enough to give me the nourishment that I needed. When I couldn't get some juice, went to the fountain and got some water. When I couldn't get out of the fountain, went to the bathroom, got it out of the faucet. It was still good enough to drink to keep me going. Thinking back to those days with my roommate one year, we didn't have anything. We went and got a little sandwich maker. We got some bread because it was cheap. Got some cheese because it was cheap. And we ate real cheese every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was enough to keep us going from day to day. And every once in a while, the old McDonald's over would have 26 cheeseburger night. And we would collect up all the change on the floor, and we'd just have somebody drive down and get as many burgers as we can have. That was our gourmet night. Then it was 20-cent cheeseburger night. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes we stick up our nose, tired of eating the same thing every single day. I ain't got a taste for that today. I don't want that today. I'm sick of dealing with the same food over and over again. Be thankful for whatever food that you do have, because he provides for our needs. We got to stop looking past and be thankful for what God has truly provided for us. Just like he provided for the Israelites. He provides for us each and every day. And it burns sometimes when you see somebody who's in need and they come out and they say, I need a couple dollars to get something to eat. And then when you offer them something to eat, they say, well, no, I don't want that. I just need the money to go get what I really want. If you're really in need and understand you're really in need, if somebody offers you a bagel, you're going to take the bagel. Even if you don't want the bagel, ain't got a taste for the bagel, if you that hungry and that much in need, you will take what is given unto you. Understand he provides for your needs, not necessarily for your wants, but he provides and makes sure that you have everything that you absolutely need in life. Remember the Canaanite woman, 15th chapter of the book of Matthew? She was in need for $1. Her dollar was vexed by a devil, and she went to Christ. And she cried out to Christ and didn't answer. The disciple said, do you want us to send her away? And he said, it's not meet for me to serve this woman. She worshiped him. he still turned her away and said, it's not meet for me to give you the food that is for the certain individuals. But I like her response in that 27th verse. And this is the mindset we should have when it comes to wants versus needs. In Matthew 15:27, she responded this way. She said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Sometimes you got to recognize that the crumbs that fall from the table is enough to get you what you need in life. You don't need the full 7-course meal, 3-course meal, whatever it may be. Recognize that the crumbs are enough in life to sustain you from day to day. I think about that. We were talking about an individual, and I've talked about this before, the running back who used to play for the University of Cincinnati. Went on to the NFL, and I think he was with the St. Louis Rams when they were in St. Louis. Then he played for Miami, and while he was in Miami, had an accident. Young, had a nice fast car, went out driving that fast car around the Columbus area, wrecked that car severely, almost lost his life. His leg was severed from his body. But here he is. And the reason I talk about this individual and try and show him to the kids and say, here he is. He had a career. He lived on his legs. He got by on his legs running through life in essence by playing football, got into college by playing football, got some income by playing football, made a living for his family. Lost his leg. Football was done. There is no more football. You lose your leg, that's it. You can break it, you can tear something, but you lose a leg, that's it. Leg amputated. Many would be down in the dumps and would never be in a state of depression, never focusing on the fact that God still supplied your need. The fact that what you needed is your life. Your leg wasn't a requirement, but the fact that you still have life is a blessing from God. And the fact that he recognized this and he stated this, that he was thankful just to be alive. Yes, he lost his leg, but he was thankful just to be alive. Just recently had a child at that point in time. Was thankful that he could still hold his child, see his child, and be there for his child. That's the mindset we should have. Be thankful for all that God has blessed you with, even in the midst of the storm. Many in life get so frowned up, so frustrated as soon as something doesn't go their way, as soon as they don't have something that they want, they turn their back on God. You need to turn to Christ more than ever when things aren't going the way that you think they need to go, and be thankful for everything that he has truly provided for you in your life. Last Sunday we had Sunday school. We had the individual, the visitor who was here with us, part of the family who was here, and we were talking about something related to that. And he said something about prayer. He said the way he prays is thank you. You know, I'm asking for something, but I'm thanking you for whatever you give me, even if it ain't what I'm asking for. I'm thankful for whatever it is that you do for me, even though it may not be what I'm asking for. I'm thankful either way. Are we truly thankful for the fact that he provides for our needs? Don't need sight to serve God. You can be blind and still serve Christ. You don't even need to be able to talk and you can still serve Christ. You don't need to be able to walk and you can still serve Christ. Be thankful that you still have life here on this earth. And give him all the honor and the praise that he's due. And I was thinking about this. I always like to reflect on the 7th chapter of the book of Judges. Because here they are, Gideon, and they're about to go into battle against the Midianites. And he has 32,000 strong. You would think the more the merrier. Give me as many men as you can give me and let me go into battle with whom I have. Especially if we outnumber them, because we might intimidate them and send them the other way. God said, that's too many. I can't give you the battle with 32,000. This is what you need to do. Go to those 32,000. Whoever is fearful, send them on their way. Whoever is afraid, send them on their way. 22,000 left. 32,000 he started with. 22,000 were so afraid, and they left. They turned to cut camp. 10,000 left. Still too many. I can't give you the battle with those 10,000. Yeah, you thought you needed 32. Then you see you got 10, you think, well, maybe I can still work with this 10,000 I have. Well, that's still too much for me to give you this battle. Go and take them down by the water. Whoever lapped like a dog and drank the water, set them aside. And everybody that bows down, set them on the other side. And those that lapped like a dog were 300. He said, those 300 right there, that's who you're going to take into battle, and that's how you're going to win this battle. And he did just that, and they won the battle just like God said they would.
All right.
What am I trying to say? Sometimes we think we need more than what we really need. Sometimes we need to recognize we need to use whatever God has provided unto us and trust in him, and he'll take care of the rest.
That's right. That's right.
Thinking about this in relation to last week. Last week got a call. Frankie got a call. Then I got a call from Frankie. Then I called the person and got the information. What the news we was looking for. We had the meeting Wednesday about what we were looking for from the loan to get over on Niles Road. We were expecting 400,000. We knew 400,000 was pushing it at that. We wanted more than 400,000. We wanted 450. They said, well, we can't give you 450. We'll give you 400. Well, then they came back and said, well, 400. We can't give you that 400. We can give you 320. And the thing that I thought about, because I was in the dumps for a minute, I started thinking, here we go. Now we didn't come this far. We done done all this. Now they playing these games, and all of a sudden what we needed, we ain't got. And I quickly, as I started to feel myself going that direction, said, wait a minute. You can't sit there and talk one way, and then you sitting up here acting a different way. Right. Trust and believe whatever he's giving you, he going to make it work. Yeah. If it's 320, he going to make 320 work. If it was 200, he going to make 200 work. Whatever he's giving us, trust in him, and he going to make it work. That's the mindset we got to have in life. Too many times we get depressed, we throw in the towel, we quit before we even give God a chance. He provides for our needs. Trust in him.
Yes, he will.
Believe in him. Don't lean on your understanding, but trust in God.
That's right.
The things that we think we need, we really don't need. They just wants. But God makes sure that the needs are truly provided.
That's right.
I was thinking about the 27th chapter of the book of Acts. The 27th chapter of the book of Acts, when they were going to sail with Paul and so on and so forth. And Paul warned them. He told me, he said, yeah, maybe you don't want to sail at this point in time. And it talks about that particular storm that begins with an E that escapes my name right now. Euphrates, whatever it may be. You'll see it in that 27th chapter that blew up at that point in time. And now all of a sudden they're in the midst of the storm, and Paul told me, he said, look here. I know we want to get to sea safely. I know we want to get to sea safely in this ship. But this ship ain't going to make it ashore. This ship is not necessary in its current state to get us to where we need to be. Just make sure you hold on to the ship. Even when the ship breaks up, hold on to the pieces of the ship. See, they thought they needed the ship as constructed to get to where they needed to be. And he said, God will take care of the rest if you just trust in him and hold on to him.
That's right. That's right.
Same holds true for us in life.
That's right.
This is the ship. This is the ship. The church is the ship. When storms rage, don't run from the ship. Don't turn from the ship. Don't think you can fix it without the church. Stay in the ship. Hold on to the ship while you're in the midst of the struggles in life. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever problems that you have in life, hold on to the ship. Trust in the ship, and you will get safely ashore. Don't leave God. Get closer to God.
That's right.
Cleave closer to God. None of us are perfect. We say that all the time. We all make mistakes. We all have shortcomings. We all slip up. We all have trials, tribulations. We all have things that we go through in life. But when you go through those troubles in life, even self-inflicted wounds, stay in the ship. Trust in God. He will provide for your needs. Plain and simple. All we're trying to talk about today is just wants versus needs. Just a couple points to just reiterate. We can't lose sight of that from day to day. Trust in him. Trust in him at all points in time. No matter what you face in life, no matter what you go through in life, trust and believe. And open up your eyes. I ain't talking about these physical eyes. I'm talking about your spiritual eyes. Open up your spiritual eyes and truly see what he's done for us in our life. It's hard to see that when we're in the midst of a storm. It's hard to see that because we're so focused about the waves and the storm. And I always think about Peter. When Christ came walking on the water, Peter said, well, if you Christ, let me come on out with you. Come on out. And Peter took some steps on that water, didn't he? But like most of us, when we're in the midst of the storm, we start paying attention to the wind, the waves, and everything else. And just like Peter, we start to sink in the water. Even though you're in the storm, trust and believe, lean on him. Don't turn from him. Don't take your focus away from him, but keep your focus on Christ. And thank him at all points in time, no matter what's going on in your life. I always talk about when Alyssa was born and she was going through a situation, and then one day, the second week she was here. She had the first surgery, we thought everything was all right, and all of a sudden, her being who she is, I guess, she slipped a little tube out of her nose and broke the little passage in her throat that they had just repaired. So it was fluid leaking in her chest, didn't know anything, but knew she was in pain, and all I sat there and thought, ain't nothing I can do right now but turn to Christ in prayer.
That's right.
And that's all I did, and all I said right there and then was thank you for letting me touch her. Thank you for letting me see her, because if she don't make it through the night, I'm still thankful that you allowed me to see this little girl for this little bit of time that I have. But of course, my prayer is that you see her safely through.
Amen.
Regardless of how it turns out, be thankful for everything that God has truly provided for us in life. Recognize the true needs versus the wants. We got to recognize that. We got to recognize that more so now than ever. Because the world is so focused on wants, the world is so focused on materialistic things instead of the true spiritual things that we need to keep our focus on. He's coming back for his church without spot or wrinkle. Like a broken record, same thing today as Noah. That'll say it every single day. Every time we got an opportunity to remind us that he's coming back for his church without spot or wrinkle. And he's coming back like a thief in the night. No man knows the day. No man knows the hour. But what we do know is he's coming back. So you can't claim ignorance. You can't say you didn't know when he was coming back, so you wasn't prepared. The fact that you know he's coming back means you need to be prepared as if he's coming back right now. You can't put off for tomorrow what you should do today.
That's right.
We need to make sure we take advantage of the time that God has granted unto us. Be thankful, because this is a need right here. He's given us time, hasn't he? He's given us time to give us another day to say, you know what, here's another opportunity to get yourself right before I come back. Amen. While you still have breath in your body, while the blood is still flowing warm, you have time right now to get it right before it's eternally too late. And if you haven't accepted as your personal Lord and Savior, you know you've heard the word, you believe the word, you're ready to change your mind and your conduct, the way you think and the way you act. You're ready to confess that he's the Christ, the Son of the living God. You're ready to take that dip into the water grave baptism, to rise and walk in the newness life. This is the time to do it now. Not putting it off, but if you truly understand, truly know why you should be, this is when you should do it. But this is the time. Needs versus wants. What we need to do from a day-to-day basis is make sure that we look at everything that God has truly blessed us with. Not focus on the things we don't have. Not focus on the things that ain't going right. Not focus on the decisions that didn't go our way. Not focus on the pay that we wish we had. Not focus on all those things, but focus on what he truly has provided unto each and every one of us. If there's one, we urge you to stand, urge you to come before his eternal as we stand and sing 308.